Okay, I want to give just a couple short summaries of the first three chapters of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. The book opens with the narrator mother, the story of a girl and how her father is sick, and she tends to him as he dies in kind of the last of his life from a bad sickness. This turns out to be the narrator's mother, and he talks, and it goes into how she marries his father, and then how their kind of lives change when he is born. And then they also adopt a sister as well, and so he has an orphan sister. Rolling into chapter 2, a few notable things that happens. The narrator talks a lot about himself being more studious, um, kind of getting very interested in science and philosophy. He talks about how he has a few close friends, but looking back, his parents were very good to him and very kind. He likes to study philosophy, and he got two books from these philosophers. His dad didn't really know who they were, but he works with what he had. And he describes this thirst for knowledge that he has. This takes place around his teenage years. Chapter 3, the first tragic thing happens. His mother dies when he's 17, and this, I feel, kind of prompts him and pushes him to go to the university and go to start school, to start studying the stuff that he was working on studying when he was younger. When he gets there, he visits two professors. The first professor, Crimp, is not really happy about his reading of philosophy as far as back then. He talks about how those guys were wrong, and what you learned was useless, and that you need new stuff to read, and here's a bunch of books, go read all those because the old stuff you have is wrong. And so it kind of gave a bad taste for him, so narrator goes to a second professor, and the second professor still agrees with the first one as far as what he's learned is not correct anymore, but he's much more encouraging, like, it's good that you've read these things, it means you have a very strong foundation, so now just put that energy towards learning the new stuff, and you have a very and is glad that he's put in the work to learn the old stuff, because which means he'll most likely put in work to learn the new stuff as well. The second one was a lot more supportive of his studies. That's a little bit of what happened in the first three chapters of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.